Rossoneri and welcome to Casa Milan Studios. We are ready for the last episode of this season of our AC Milan Talk. We are ready with all the going song of our favorite club and it's also time to take stock and find out all the Rossoneri awards of this season. But let's not waste any more time. Welcome to my two guests. Welcome to Adriano Del Monte. Hi Adriano.
Ciao Licia, great to see you and very much looking forward to this episode.
And welcome to Sheridan Verde. Hi Sheridan.
Hi Licia, hi Adriano. It's going to be a lovely review of the season. I'm very excited.
Some important big news for our Rossoneri and plenty of emotions, so get ready. Let's start with our men's first team. The Serie A season for our Rossoneri ends with a draw against Salernitana, a bittersweet result, but that can never cancel out all the emotions and beautiful moments of this season. But talking about the pitch topics, what about this match, Adriano?
Obviously a very emotional way to finish the season. So many farewells we'll get into very shortly. Second place secured, playing on, it had a festive feel about it. It did have that end of season feel, but obviously there was an advantage early for the team. In the end, you can see 3-3, I guess exciting on paper for the neutral, not the result we wanted, but it was definitely a strange night in a nice way because there was so much emotion inside Sun City. You can see their confirmation of the final standing, 75 points. A second place finish for Mr. Pioli and this team. It's hard to analyse, I think, a match like this when there was a lot of focus on those that were departing the club. And I guess the end of what has been a very, very special cycle in this club's rich history. So in the end, of course, disappointment, but it was all about those that were departing and giving them a fine farewell.
The season ends with a second place finish, a positive result for our club. But dear Sheridan, you have been waiting for it. The wait is almost over because the new home kit for the next season made its debut on Saturday night at San Siro.
Very stylish. I really thought it looked good. Obviously, all the modern technology, so it's the best thing for the world's best athletes. I really like the return to the white shorts and the white socks of the Arrigo Sacchi era. Excuse me, I'm so emotional. But it was a really good outing for the new kit, and it was, as Adriano said, the match itself. Shame that they weren't able to keep a clean sheet, but everyone got to see goals. Wasn't too much riding on the match, and a nice emotional hug there between Rafael and Mr. Pioli, and a nice hug. Don't squeeze too tight. But no, it was, as Adriano said, it was an emotional day. It felt like a party, an end of season celebration. Big kiss on the badge from Olivier, who will soon be saying au revoir. But no, it was okay. The 3 goals conceded weren't the best way to end the season, but the 3 goals scored just showed what we'd known all season, that this team have got goals in them. So yeah, it was a nice farewell. The neutrals probably had a great time, 6 goals, but more positive than negative from this final match. More big hugs there. It was an afternoon, an evening of goals and hugs.
The last Serie A fixture with the new home kit, which also marks our 125th anniversary for the season 2024-2025. It was a very magic night for many reasons, also because we know very well that it was the last one for 3 undisputed protagonists. So let's start focusing on Coach Stefano Pioli, who wants to say goodbye to our club and to Rossoneri fans with a very emotional speech. Let's listen.
Siete stati tantissimi, ci avete spronato, ci avete stimolato, ci avete dato un'energia che noi abbiamo cercato di mettere sul campo. Abbiamo perso, abbiamo sofferto insieme, abbiamo vinto e abbiamo gioito insieme. Le emozioni che abbiamo vissuto ci rimarranno dentro. Ho il fuoco, avete messo il fuoco nel mio cuore e rimarrà sempre acceso e non vi dimenticherò. Grazie. Stefano!
And we'll never forget Stefano Pioli. This is the end of a very important journey with him, with beautiful memories and moments with him.
Amazing scenes. They're incredible. I think what Mr. Pioli was able to do, you could see there the connection between him and the fans. That is something very special. That's what makes this club truly, truly special. Yes, one of the biggest clubs in the world, but still that local feel, that feeling that everyone is one. And Mr. Pioli also spoke about the staff here at Casa Milan who have been beautiful to him, the fans who have, as he said, we've won together, we've lost together, we've celebrated together. That's a special individual. When you've heard these players and you see these players and the emotion that they have for their manager making way, that is a truly special individual who leaves his mark on this club in a very, very big way forever. And so many congratulations to him for his time. You can see the tattoo on his arm there of the Scudetto. He's etched into Milan history forever.
And 5 years full also of important successes for AC Milan history.
Exactly. It must never be forgotten that he brought the Scudetto back to Milan for the first time since 2011. He guided Milan to the semi-finals of the Champions League. So he did important things. And not only on the pitch in terms of tactics, but as a character, as a person, he carried himself with dignity. Is not the kind of manager or head coach who complains, who creates problems. He was a very dignified, he was a leader in every sense, in every way a leader should comport, should behave themselves. So he'll be sorely missed. He's left some really good memories. We suffered, as he said, but there have been good times, must never forget that. And the speech that he gave at the end was well received by the fans, and it was just a fitting tribute. His cycles ended. It happens in professional sport that cycles finish, empires crumble, but they're there to be rebuilt, and everyone wishes Mr. Pioli the best in his future. A great man, a great leader.
And on Saturday night, it was also time to say goodbye to a true champion after his last 90 minutes played in Rossonero and his last goal scored in Serie A with AC Milan club. Olivier Giroud said goodbye to our club, Rossoneri fans, and to his teammates. Let's listen.
Abbiamo vissuto un primo anno incredibile, secondo me una delle più belle emozioni della mia carriera. Questo coro rimarrà sempre nel mio cuore. Sono molto grato e io dimenticherò mai queste 3 stagioni al Milan. Forza Milan!
The love shown by San Siro to Olivier Giroud is something incredible.
Something incredible. Licia, you can confirm there were many tears in San Siro
I can confirm.
on the Saturday evening. Look, this player has left an undeniable mark on this club, and he was a champion coming in. He was a champion of world football coming in, but he's gone to another level. It's been remarkable what this player has been able to do. Yes, he came in the latter years of his career, but you can see again the love between, like Mr. Pioli, the love between the player, the fans, the club, and everyone involved. It's truly special. I'd be lying, Sheridan, if I said that I haven't been watching the Giroud tribute videos on the Milan socials very regularly, because his highlights and his moments and his love for this club is very unique, truly special. And he does leave, despite only a few years at this club, he does leave as a champion of this club who will be remembered for a very long time. Of course, now personally for Giroud, he will play with France at the Euros, and then that will be his career in Europe done. He'll move on to Los Angeles, MLS, and we wish him the very best of luck. But we will remember his time here in Milan, in Serie A with the Rossoneri forever. And it was truly special. And as we said last week, a big merci to Olivier Giroud.
It was also the last one for Simon Kjær, and full San Siro showed its love also for the Danish defender, Sheridan.
Yeah, I was saying last week that he's a player that perhaps doesn't spring to mind as one of the superstars of this Milan era, but he absolutely has been, because he's just brought so much wisdom, so much composure. The way he plays, he just always looks in control. His hair is always perfect. You know, he knows what he's doing. And he is the kind of player that is so valuable to a team that wants to achieve success. So he'll be sorely missed. There he is, coming on, hugging Fikayo Tomori. Just looks very cool, very calm. But even being a very composed man, I'm sure there were lots of butterflies, lots of emotion. There was lots of emotion going through Simon Kjær's body as he played his final match. But this is classic tackling there, or classic defending, clever defending, you know, using a bit of streetwise knowledge to get ahead of his man. So he'll be sorely missed and very difficult to replace. You don't replace players like Simon Kjær very easily.
And after the 90 minutes on the pitch against the Salernitana, Simon Kjær's speech, let's relive his last moments in Rossonero.
Deve ringraziare la società, l'allenatore con il suo staff, voi tifosi che mi portate le gioie che non sapevo che era possibile nel mondo del calcio. La mia sensazione per questa società è la stessa sensazione che io ho quando io vado in nazionale, e là sono andato per 15 anni. 4 anni e sei diventare una famiglia. E l'ultimo, questo gruppo qua, mi ha fatto divertire ogni giorno, e arrivare a Milanello è stato una delle più grandi gioie della vita mia, e anche condividere con voi. Grazie a tutti.
An AC Milan Talk episode full of emotions, but now let's go on, because it's also Rossoneri Awards time. We asked you to choose your 3 favorite goals for the men's first team. So let's start. Adriano, your choices?
Lots of pressure, lots of pressure, Adriano.
Well, look, Sheridan, I picked goals of matches that I was at. I covered a lot of football this season, and I saw some wonderful Milan goals. And my 3 there, I like that shot, that image is great. Rafael Leao was a wonderful way to start the season. Milan started very well to get the campaign underway, and a wonderful goal for he against Roma. This was the 3rd match day of the campaign, and Sheridan,
Nice.
when it
Stylish.
comes to quality, it doesn't get much better than that. And this is a player who is capable of, well, for many, what's not possible. And that was a wonderful, wonderful goal. I think my favourite goal of the season was my second selection, Olivier Giroud against Paris Saint-Germain in the UEFA Champions League. We remember, of course, it was such a difficult group with Paris Saint-Germain, Dortmund and Newcastle in there. And it was that moment against Paris Saint-Germain, the second goal on the night, which was the difference. And when we talk about classic Giroud goals, that doesn't get any more classic. And I was right there behind this goal. It was an energetic evening, probably the best atmosphere I've seen at San Siro this season. And to cap it off with Giroud winner against our old friend Donnarumma there was very special. That was a fine finish. And then lastly, this was the most intense match I watched all season. It was Okafor last-minute winner against Lazio at Stadio Olimpico in the capital. Lazio had 3 players sent off. This match was exciting for different reasons, and Okafor there running to the away fans, and that was an iconic moment, of which there were many this season, but for me they were my top 3. I hope you enjoyed them.
And your top 3, Sheridan?
Yeah, absolutely. I made my choices with slightly different criteria. I went for goals that were important, but also spectacular. The Rafa Leao goal against Atalanta was just a demonstration of sheer power, basically, of the way he smashed it into the net was outrageous. And it just demonstrated that when he gets moving, he's very hard to stop. It's past 2 defenders and just into the area, and he just crashed it into the far side netting. And then the celebration was curious and fun. And then the photographers got involved, and it was just a demonstration of how hard he is to stop. They tried to stop him twice, and then you think he's still got some work to do, but then he releases a missile from his magic boot. This is Ruben Loftus-Cheek's first goal for Milan. I have to admit I chose it because I'm a bit biased, because Ruben is English and I've met him here at the Casa Milan studios, and he's a very nice man. It was a fine finish, and this is another really good goal. Look at that. You could not stop that with 5 goalkeepers.
You've picked a good 3 there.
Theo Hernandez, when he gets forward, it's a joy to watch. Unless you're the goalkeeper and you've got that ball flying towards your head. Get out of the way, son, because it's just a really good goal, and Theo is always great fun to watch when he gets forward. So those are my 3 goals, and I think they're a nice collection.
Many fixtures for our Rossoneri this season among Serie A and the European leagues. But now, your choices for your best games. Sheridan, let's start with you.
I've chosen the match away to Newcastle United at the St James's Park, a very difficult stadium to play in. At that point, Milan and Newcastle were arguably fighting it out for 3rd place, which is not what the objection was or the objective was at the start of the season, but it's how it happened. But unless I'm mistaken, I think Newcastle went a goal up and Milan had to react, and they did. They got the equaliser, which was an opportunistic goal. They all count. And then the doubt from the passionate Newcastle fans, great assist, by the way, from Adriano's friend Giroud.
Top player.
And then the kind of doubt, the nerves from the Newcastle fans transmitted, I think, onto the players. Milan could smell blood and went for the kill, and basically getting a win away to Newcastle was really important. And not that easy, because they're a decent team. They play quite a physical kind of football. This is the winning goal. And that's a wonderful team move, and the way it was swept into the far corner it was a glorious goal, and it was a really good European away performance, and what Milan needed at the time. A wonderful finish, you can't argue with that. Chukwueze with some magic. He's popped up for some really glorious moments, Chukwu, and that was no chance for the keeper. So it was a big match. It was a very big European performance.
And Adriano, you chose the winning night against Paris Saint-Germain.
It was a slightly bigger European performance, this one, with respect to Newcastle, because this was a match that I think we can take a lot of confidence from going into next season. Paris Saint-Germain, eventual semi-finalists this season in the Champions League, and it was a tough period. This was match day 4. Pitch side at this match, before the match got underway, I knew something special was going to happen. There was something different. Look at those scenes in the stands. It was incredible. That right up there with the very best atmosphere I've seen on a European night at San Siro. And really, it was a must-win. And it was a match where the players really brought their top game against one of the top squads in world football. You could see Kylian Mbappe there on the end, and they were made to work hard for it, like at Newcastle, but it was the stars that shone, and in the end, a 2-1 win, a famous performance, and this was another acrobatic finish from our good friend Rafa Leao, but we saw some great highlights, some great goals, some great moments in the season, and it was these players at the top of their game proving it that they can really match it with the very best in world football. So this was, I think, the most powerful victory of the campaign against the Paris Saint-Germain team, of course, that were dreaming of going the distance in the Champions League this season. So for me, Newcastle was good. This one here against Paris Saint-Germain was great.
That's all for our Rossoneri's awards for the men's first team. But now we have to highlight that the serial campaign for this season has just finished, but there is also one new match to officially close this season. We are talking about the friendly with Roma in Australia, and these are the best pictures from their experience there. This is the moment in which they arrived. There was also Olivier Giroud, who is living his last moments with his Rossoneri teammates. Here we have to highlight that the reason of this friendly with Roma is to remember Agostino Di Bartolomei, a former player both for AC Milan and Roma. Davide Calabria and Bonera talked in the press conference for AC Milan, and Daniele De Rossi and Smalling for the Giallorossi. With the Rossoneri among them, Zlatan Ibrahimovic with some special guests. He's enjoying with the Rossoneri also off the pitch the moments in Perth. Beautiful animals, guys.
Wonderful to be in nature. Obviously, Adriano knows more about the wonderful wildlife of Australia than both of us, because he grew up among the kangaroos.
Many people often ask me this, including you, Sheridan. Yes. They think that we have these animals in our gardens and backyards and in our houses and as pets. It's not true, that I've rarely seen these in the flesh, but yes, when you go to Australia, there is a lot of nature, a lot of wildlife, and you can really enjoy that side. And great to see Zlatan and the Milan players enjoying exactly that.
Oh, lovely, look at that.
It's a very special moment and occasion for AC Milan to remember Agostino Di Bartolomei, but also a very special moment for the Australian Rossoneri, who have been waiting this moment and this appointment for much time, and focusing on them, a message for us with the full charge from the Rossoneri in Perth.
Ciao, we are Milan Club Adelaide from South Australia, and we can't wait to see you take on Roma at Optus Stadium. We hope you enjoy your stay, and we have something very special planned for you in Perth to welcome you down under against Roma.
Dai, dai, dai! Ale! 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 Milan, ale! Forza lotta! Vincerai! Non ti lasceremo mai! Ale! 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 Milan, ale! Forza lotta! Vincerai! Non ti lasceremo mai!
The Australian Curva Sud.
Exactly. That is Marco and the Milan club from Adelaide who are making the trip over to Perth. So thanks, guys, for sending that in. What is so important to understand is that while it's a post-season friendly match, for these fans who haven't seen this club in the flesh, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience potentially. And to have them coming to Australia for the first time in a few decades, this means the world. And you can see the work here that's going into preparing a wonderful experience for the Milan players. They've sent me these scenes. This is going to be a special atmosphere. And look, for the Milan players, yes, it's been a long season, we know that, but they'll take a lot out of playing in front of adoring fans on the other side of the world who, like myself when I was very young growing up, have to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch their heroes play in Serie A in the Champions League. So their dedication being rewarded by this Milan-Roma friendly, and it's going to be a wonderful spectacle, and I'm just so happy for these fans and all the Milan fans in Australia.
A special and magic atmosphere ahead of the game that kicks off on Friday at the Optus Stadium in Perth. But for this episode, that's all for our men's first team focus, and now let's move on with our women's team. This Serie A league came to the end also for our Rossoneri, Sheridan, but a summary comment from you on this season, especially on this courtside final run.
A good finish to a very difficult season. Well, we've discussed it, there have been problems, it hasn't been an easy season, but things turned around towards the end, and Milan finished on a high, recording lots of wins, some lovely goals, bringing the smile back, let's say, to the femminile world of Milan. It won't be a season that we will remember for a long time for difficult reasons, but the team, towards the end, turned it around somewhat, and that leaves grounds for optimism for the future for Milan Femminile, who can hopefully return to the top, diciamo, of Italian women's football.
Adriano, do you agree? What
I
do you think?
agree, of course. I agree. Look, it wasn't the season that we had hoped for, but given that stretch in the last 8 fixtures, there was a lot of momentum built. Now the plan is build on that momentum going into the new campaign. Obviously, there will be some changes in terms of personnel. Bring these players in, have a strong pre-season and continue that confidence from those last fixtures we saw. And I think we'll see a much improved Milan in the 2024-25 season. So I'm excited for what's to come. But again, this club, big ambitions. And I think the ambition here will be to return to definitely the top half of Serie A, but then hopefully push for Champions League places as well.
And the Rossonere awards for this season on the pitch. Your choice, Adriano?
We're starting with the goal? Or
The goal.
The goal. Let's start with the goal. Well, I think my favourite goal of the season, well, you can see now, I don't have to, it's no surprise, but Laurent against Napoli, because this was a match early on in the campaign. It was the first win, it was match day 2, first win of the season, away from home, a tough trip to Naples, and it was a match that we were in control, but the goal came very late, and it was a fine finish. It was the 96th minute there. New player, first goal for the club, a lot of experience is played, but to come in and make her mark like that, a fine finish.
Very quick, sorry to interrupt, but very quick feet, and the shot was
sensational.
Unforgiving.
And
really
never be
good
sorry
goal.
to interrupt. Your expert analysis, always appreciated. It was a great finish and a great way to get the first win on the board and the season underway.
And Sheridan, you chose Vigilucci against Como.
Absolutely, it was a different kind of goal. It was a goal that was opportunistic. Vigilucci spotted a chance. She spotted a little angle of the corner of the goal because it was a bad clearance. She went for the half volley and she went for it. She brought a ticket and she won the lottery. As they say, I believe in Australia, if you don't risk it, you won't get the biscuit.
That's exactly what they say.
And it was a really good finish. Look at it. Let's look at it again. She just went for it. Not many people would have gone for that.
Very
but
nice.
Vigilucci did, and she was rewarded. Really, really fabulous drive into the bottom corner. Spectacular.
And for your favorite game of this Rossoneri season, I know that the both of you chose the Derby della Madonnina, the last one of this season against Inter.
We did.
Yeah, great minds think alike, or
Exactly what I was going to say.
fools seldom differ. But it was good. It's always good to beat Inter. We know that, whether it's youth team, first team, or women's team. Wearing the cool and moody black fourth kit as well. And like I say, it was that was a tough time. This was just coming out of the tough time for the Rossonere, but still managed to get a victory against the neighbours, which is always delightful.
It was a really important win because it was coming to that midway point of the season where the standings were splitting and there was still hope of that top half finish. So the timing of this win, as well as it being against Inter, is what made it for me the match of the season. Saskova there getting the goal, 2-0. Inter did pull one back, but look, in the end, as Sheridan said, Licha, it's always a good feeling to defeat Inter, no matter what the stakes are, because it's always important. The stakes are always high. So this was a great win. And again, hopeful for these girls now going into next season, that end of season finish, including that derby win, which was in mid-February, will give them a lot of confidence now as we resume the new campaign.
And our Rossonere will be in Mexico from 9 to 16 of June for the Hair Nations Tour, but we'll still have much to say about our youngest talents, so let's move on with our under-19s. A draw that wasn't enough against Lazio, so the under-19 season ended last weekend.
That's right, we know football can be cruel. The team gave everything against Lazio, it had to win. Lazio only needed 2 results, or rather could benefit from 2 results, a victory or a draw. They played professionally, Lazio, they played intelligently. Milan didn't get the victory. Painful, difficult, but you have to say it's still been a monumental season for the young Rossoneri. There's the first goal of the game, which made it look as if things might be going Milan's way. Davide Bartesaghi with a really good, solid header there, hugging Mr. Abate. And at that point, it looked like maybe the dream was edging closer. Really nice goal. A centre-forwards goal, by the way, from Bartesaghi, who was a central defender, or full-back. But at this point, it looked like things were going in Milan's way. However, Lazio equalised, and look at that camera angle. Lazio equalised, and from then they could sort of lock the door, as Adriano would say. And it wasn't to be. The season ended here in Tuscany, and still plenty of positive things to take from the season. And there's the goal that effectively ended the dream, but it didn't end the fact that it was been a fine season for the young Rossoneri.
And the season ends here when also ends the adventure lived by Ignazio Abate with his Rossoneri lads.
Well, of course, I don't know if Sheridan can speak on this one because he's been very emotional about this exit, because Mr. Abate, what he's been able to do in his time in this position has been remarkable. Obviously, we saw the scenes there. It is disappointing that the season ends like that because they did prove they're more than capable of matching a Lazio team, but it has been two very long but successful campaigns. Those runs in the Youth League, of course, will be remembered forever. That is remarkable. They became the first Italian club into the UEFA Youth League final this season, and obviously their performances domestically have been very strong and consistently as well. So he leaves a lifetime of memories here, and he has confirmed that he now personally wants to move into the senior levels. But
yeah,
I'll let you take it because it was a remarkable time. I know you covered him in some serious depth.
No, everything you said is correct. It's perfect. But I think Milan fans of the youth team should thank Mr. Abate because he came in at a difficult time for the youth team and he got them playing fantastic attacking football. Milan is built on attacking football. It's in the DNA to play front-forward, aggressive football, to try and score goals. Ignazio Abate's team did that. They did it in Europe as well, 2 seasons in a row. And now it's normal that Ignazio wants to perhaps coach a professional team, a men's first team. Someone's going to be very lucky to get him as a manager, but he'll always be remembered for what he did here. And his career as a manager is going to be very interesting to watch. So I think everyone, from all of us, we say buona fortuna, mister, because it's been a really wonderful 2 seasons, and Mr. Abate has been fabulous. And watch this space. Keep an eye on Inya.
Good luck to Mr. Abate for his new adventure, for his future. But now, Rossoneri Awards, also for AC Milan Primavera. Sheridan, your favorite goal of this season?
My favourite goal was scored by Diego Sia, who has been fabulous this season, and he scored it against Real Madrid. I mean, doesn't get much better than this. Watch this, guys. Clever skill through the defence. Finish was delicious through the keeper's legs. Scored at the top level as well against, like I say, he wasn't scoring against an average team. He was scoring against royalty of world football. But you can see better here. 1, 2, 3. And then will he finish? Yes, he will. And it was just a really fabulous goal. And all of the squad have played fantastically well. I was spoiled for choice for exciting goals, but I went for that one because it was against Real Madrid. It wasn't any old goal. So great work from Diego Sia.
And Adriano Camarda against Juventus.
Yes, when we talk about delicious finishes, Sheridan. Tasty finishes. I don't even need to. Look, Camarda's season has been remarkable. We know that he's still very, very, very young, but it's been a case of this has been a player who is definitely a star to watch for the future, and he has developed and will continue to develop and hopefully become a first-team player very soon, because this is a player who I think there's strong belief can have a very strong future. So it's been exciting keeping tabs on him. Let's see what next season holds.
An incredible growth and journey, the one experienced by our Rossoneri in the Youth League, from which I know that both of you chose your favorite match.
Yes. Again, that has to be, for me, with respect to the domestic competition, the season that is, I think, defined by what took place here. Now, I picked the Porto match purely because that was the semi-final that saw history made and Milan go through to the final. But there was the victory against Real Madrid. There was the Dortmund win. It was incredible, the run that they were able to take on here. And look, in front of a very strong crowd, it was tough. Porto are one of the best teams in Europe at this level. We know that. And this Milan team do what they always do, and that's fight to the very end. And they came out on top on penalties in the end. But again, the lessons learned from experiences like this, and where the Portuguese league are known for producing some of the world's best young talent. So this is a very, very tough result and to come through and go through to a final, I think for me, just edges the other fixtures out for the highlight of the season.
And Sheridan, what about your favorite match?
I chose the match against Borussia Dortmund because the young Rossoneri blew the Germans away. It was in the group stage, so it was still a case of working out the best 11, getting back into the groove of European football, but they did fantastically well, and Dortmund just couldn't live with Milan all the way back in autumn at the Puma House of Football, and it was a sign for me that something special was occurring again for the youth team in Europe, because that day Dortmund did not know what hit them.
Well, guys, we come to the end of this episode of this AC Milan Talk edition. It's time to say goodbye also for us. Let me say that it was a pleasure to share this journey with you. So thanks to Adriano Del Monte and thanks to Sheridan Bird.
Sempre un piacere, Licia. Thank you, Sheridan, and grazie mille to our tifosi.
Yes, thank you very much, Adriano. Thank you very much, Licia. Everyone who watched at home and supported us, thank you very much. It's been an eventful season, but an exciting season, and I've really enjoyed my time in these studios with you guys.
And dear Rossoneri, thank you so much for this incredible adventure. Thanks for following us, and as we used to say in Italy, Forza Milan sempre. Ciao!